Years Young. Today we're going to do a beginner's class in Pilates. I'm going to teach you all the technique and the principles of Pilates, and if you can do this class twice a week for 3 months, you're really going to start to feel the difference, and then you can join in and do some of my other classes. So the first thing is your posture. Stand with your feet hip width apart, hip bones in line with knees, ankles and feet, all your toes on the floor. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. Don't draw them back and squeeze them together and lift the chest. So many things you can feel by the ribs. The ribs should be soft and in a natural neutral position. The minute you arch your back or start to squeeze your shoulder blades, you'll feel your ribs open and your chest lift, and this arch in the back is not what you want. So we want a neutral spine. So just lengthen your tailbone towards the floor, never tuck it forward. Tuck in your chin and feel your height from the crown of your head, and then just place those soft shoulder blades down your back. If you soften your knees, it's going to stop you tilting your pelvis forward or back. So one of the really good things is to put your fingertips on your hip bones and your thumbs on your ribs. And then when you do your core connections, you can feel if you try and shorten the space in between, which is what you don't want to do, okay? So a really good way of describing a neutral posture with your hips is to imagine your hips are a bucket of water. That water's full up. If you tilt the bucket forward, the water's going to fall out in front. And if you tilt the bucket back, the water's going to fall out the back. So every movement you do, you want to keep that water level and not lose any water in your hips. Okay, so you found your neutral spine. It'll come naturally when you've been doing it for a while. Posture is the key to everything. So we're just going to do noddy dog, where you drop the chin down and lift the chin up. Just freeing up the neck. And looking in front, look side to side. Keeping the spine mobile. Joseph Pilates said you are as old as your spine. So we're going to keep our spines nice and young and mobile. Okay, just bring your ear to shoulder. Feeling that center line, crown of your head. And then we're going to bring our hand on the side of our head. Don't pull your head, just drop in, use the gravity of your arm, and push this other arm away from you, palm towards the floor. And then going to the other side. Exhale, release the breath, soften the shoulders, and you'll feel the lovely stretch, base of your skull to your shoulder blade. And coming back to center. Okay, roll your shoulders, everybody. Roll them back. Up, round, forward, up, back. Lovely. And then go back and forward. And then find that nice neutral posture again. Pilates breath, don't overthink it. Most people do. You'll get used to it. If you sing, you're up already. Okay, so just put your hands on the side of your ribs, and it's a lateral breath into the side ribs. So again, what you don't want to do is to lift your ribs and your chest up. Okay, so we're going to breathe in through our nose, and we're going to breathe into our hands. Nothing moves except for my rib cage. And as you breathe out through your mouth, and feel the breath coming up through your chest and out through your mouth. So what you don't want to do, I call it blow candles out. If you just blow candles out, try it. Through your mouth, all your breath is just here in your mouth. It can't help your diaphragm, it can't help you connect with your muscles. So you want to feel the breath coming up from that connection in the diaphragm out through your mouth. So the whole abdominal area is like a beautiful corset, all the way around. We want to feel all the abs working, from your pubic bone up to your navel, from your hip bones and in. So several ways to think of it. Think of your navel as being a dimmer switch. We're going to rank it up with the muscles as much as we need for our movements. And you're going to bring everything in from your pubic bone and your hips into that dimmer switch. And we're going to do a scoop and hollow and lift, okay? You can also picture a lift going up. And you breathe out to make that core connection. So we're going to scoop and hollow, and you can also do your jean zip up. So your jeans are really tight, and as you exhale and scoop and hollow, you're going to do that zip up from the bottom to the top. And then we're going to have the same control and connection as we breathe in and release and open the zip. So you've got 3 visualizations there. Okay, so let's put our arms by our side and just practice your breath. Inhale to your side ribs through your nose. Exhale, feel the core connection. Scoop and hollow, breathe out through your mouth. Nice and soft, nice and relaxed, nice long breath. So we're going to do a roll down with that principle. Soften the knees so you don't push your butt backwards. We're going to breathe in, and breathing out, roll off the top. Imagine there's a wall behind you. You can't touch the wall with your butt as you go down, okay? It's a good way to practice it at home. And you're going to roll right off the top. Some people might only get halfway. Some people might need to bend the knees a lot. And you're going to come to a forward fold. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out and connect your core. Scoop and hollow through your abs. Rolling up, stacking the spine, and you're coming back to neutral. Okay, here we go, off the top. Exhale. Core engages first. Core supports the back. Roll the spine off the top. You want to be able to put your shoes on for the rest of your life, right? Rolling down, good. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out, scoop and hollow your main abs in. Transversus abdominis, good. Feel them working. And rolling right up to the top, stack back. Feel your neutral spine. And we're going to do one more, everyone. Breathe in, breathe out. That exhale breath's going to last all the way down to the floor, or however far you can go. And coming back, exhale, core connection, scoop and hollow. So we fire up what we need our main abs there, and we're coming back. Okay, so we call this the T-line. 2 hip bones, pubic bone, navel. So when I refer to the T-line, that's what you're using. When we're sitting, we're going to find that mobility in the lower back. So we're going to take our ball. You can buy them online. If you haven't got a ball, don't worry. You don't have to use it. Turn your toes out. Sit the spine right down in the middle. And we're going to do some good old ballet pliés. Fingers and thumbs up to the ceiling. And as you push the hips down, just squeeze the ball. And you'll feel all the muscles in your arms working. So you can do little pushes in those pliés. Using your inner thigh muscles, push your knees back. Keep all your toes on the floor. Great. Okay, take a big stretch for me. Right up. Great. Exhale. Right down that center line. Connect your core. Tailbone's long. Don't tuck it forward. Are you ready? Squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You're going to feel it already. 2, 1, and lift and stretch. And your last one, you can do it. Here we go, squeeze. Push those knees wide and back. Great, soft shoulders, always bringing down away from the ears and lifting up. And then bring the ball back to center. Walk your feet in, so you do toes, heels, and we're just gonna put our ball down for a minute. Okay, this is called open doors. So think of Harry Potter doors, those great big doors. Your elbow is just lower than your armpit. If you lift the elbows too high, you're going to lift your shoulders. And we're just going to soften those knees. Okay, breathing in, use the forearm, and imagine you're pushing those heavy doors back. This is brilliant for the chest and the shoulders. And then exhale, connect your core muscles, scoop and hollow, and squeeze the doors back together. So you're making your own resistance rather than just opening and closing. Inhale to open, exhale to close, good. Core works on every exhale breath and releases on your inhale. Breathe into the side ribs, breathe out through your mouth, scoop and hollow, lift those abs up, in, up, top of the lift, good. And one more. Great, these are called pushes, little pushes back. 8, 7, 6, opening the chest, 5, keeping the ribs together, 3, 2, 1. And coming back together, arms by your side. Make sure you roll down, and we're just going to take the ball out of the way. So this is the way to go down to the floor, and I will show you options. Standing at the end of your mat, roll down like we just did. Breathe in, breathe out. Rolling off the top. Keep your body tight to your legs, remember. Inhale, look at the floor, and exhale, we're going to walk forward to plank. You want to keep your hips and your shoulders as square as you can. If you need to, drop your knees. Okay, lengthen the tailbone, bring those ribs together, and nice flat shoulder blades. You'll be surprised how quickly you'll be planking. Breathe in, breathe out, sit up. Place one knee down, place 2 knees down. And we're here. 4-point kneeling. Okay, we're going to do cat. Great spine mobilizer. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck your toes underneath if you can. Breathe in, breathe out, and feel that scoop and hollow starting. So again, just above your pubic bone, lifting and rounding through that T-line, the lower back, lifting up through the waist, and then looking in at your navel. Breathe in and lengthen your spine from the crown of your head down to your tailbone. Come back, neutral spine. Exhale, scoop and hollow, and lift and open the vertebrae in the lower back first. Then come through the ribs, and then look right in. Can you see your navel? Breathe in, that cord's pulling through the crown of your head and bringing you back. And we're going to do one more of those. I want to feel the abs lifting. Good. And lengthen, long and straight, neutral. Okay, you can put your toes together and your knees apart. Pull your hips back and just take a nice breath in child's pose. Child's pose opens the lower back, and it's a really good exercise for opening the hips and opening the spine. Okay, you're going to roll back for your cat, everyone. And square up. You want to feel like you lift away from the floor and don't sink into the hands and the shoulders. Okay, so we're just going to slide our right leg out in line with the hip and lift the leg, and place your chin on a tennis ball so that you don't squeeze the back of the neck or drop into a tortoise head. And we're going to make our cat with this one leg. Put your nose on your knees, good and hollow, lift that navel as high as you can. And then inhale, lengthen away, stretch the toes, we're back nice and square. Exhale, scoop and hollow through the T-line. Inhale, coming back. And we can put an option on with the leg and the foot to push back through the heel with a flexed foot, and then you're stretching the back of your leg and making some resistance. So you're going to progress here during your 3 months. Okay, transition, slide the knee in, try not to let the hips drop and wiggle, and lift to the other side. And we're going to do 4 here, you ready? Exhale, breathing out through the mouth. Inhale, nice and square, coming back. Long back of the neck. So I want to think of the neck as being a continuation of the spine. Feel that core connection, lifting the navel up to the ceiling. Great, try the flex and the push this time. And bring the knee in. If you like, you can sit back. You can give your wrist a little rest. Okay, so always lifting away from the floor. You're going to slide your right leg out and your left leg. And we're going to lift to the famous Superman. Coming in. Little finger to knee. You might find you a little bit wobbly here. And then in time you'll say, wow, I'm stable. I can do that move stable now. Feel that C-curve through the spine, lifting right up away from the floor, and scoop and hollow as much as you can. Great. Okay, you're going to transition to the other side. Swap yourself over. And lift. So cat progresses from the lower back. So you do it right. Lift the lower back, lift the navel, lift the ribs, and crunch right in. And you can put that foot adaptation in here. Great. Calming back. Sitting back, wrists. I'm going to do a move called aeroplane, which is fantastic for the shoulder blades. Go nice and square. Place the fingers out to the side in line with your shoulder. Breathe in and lift your arm in line with your shoulder, and then lift away from the supporting shoulder. So don't try and twist and force the shoulder forward. This flattens the shoulder blades, pulls them back. And then exhale, you're going to rotate back to the floor. So the rotations work in Pilates from the top of your spine to the bottom to turn. Inhale, head, neck, shoulders, ribs, waist, and then you return from the lower back, bottom of the spine, through the ribs, shoulders, head, and we're back. Good. One more. Top of your head to the bottom of your spine. Breathe in and then breathe out. And later on that will progress into another move. And we're going to do the other side. So I'll show you it front on so you can see. Lift up and away. Open from the supporting shoulder. Don't sink in and push the shoulder forward. And feel the vertebrae, sequential movement of the spine. One vertebrae at a time, opening. One vertebrae at a time, coming back. And one more. Great. And we're going to come back. Okay, so Superman, everybody knows Superman. Light opposite arm and leg out. What happens here is people tend to drop the ribs, stick their butt up. You've lost all your core connection. We're going to breathe in and lift. Keep those ribs together. Breathe out and come back in underneath. Shift your weight, keeping your hips and your shoulders stable and square. So that's another part of Pilates principle. Stability. Now one part of the body is moving. The other part is stable. Fantastic. One more either side, guys. And now you're going to pull your fingers and toes away from you. Imagine I've got hold of your hand and your foot. I'm going to pull them away from you. Great. Coming back. Tuck your toes underneath. And lift your hips as high as you can. Open your fingers wide. And instead of pushing the ribs towards the floor like we would in yoga, lengthen your tailbone. Keep those ribs together. And just lengthen your spine. So most people can't put their heels down. Don't worry if your heels are up. Bend your knees if you need to. Never compromise your spine for your legs. Okay, coming down. Zip it up. Put your knees down. And we're here. Okay, so I'm going to go in the Pilates basic supine, lying on your back position. You have two triangle legs. Hips, knees, feet, all in line with each other again. Arms by your side. And then lengthen the back of the neck. Tuck your chin. It's on your tennis ball again. Here, under your waist, I call it a letterbox. Got just a little space there. You could put a letter underneath. Don't push your ribs up towards the ceiling to make it. And extend the back. So we just want to keep the ribs soft together. That tailbone nice and long. Okay, so when you go for your core connections now, you have your technique with your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to do your scoop and hello, and what you don't want to do is press your waist into the floor. You can see, if I exaggerate, that my pubic bone pushed up. So we're going to try those core connections, keeping our little letterbox. Exhale. Scoop and hello. And feel that dimmer switch right around your navel. Both feet are on the floor, so we don't need maximum yet. Exhale. Feel those abs working. Scoop and hollow, bring them in, lift them up. So whichever visualization works for you. The zip. Or the lift. to the penthouse, down to the wine cellar. Great. Okay, so your first basic moves here will be to lift one foot off the floor as you make that scoop and hollow. And you're going to tap your toe like you're dipping it in the water and bring that leg back. When lengthening with the toe tap, the thigh bone away from the hip, and you're hinging from the hip. So what most people get wrong is they bring the heel into their butt, and then all you're doing is getting some mobility in your knee. You don't have to use any core strength for that. So take the leg away, tap your toe, and bring it back. Brilliant. Transition. Those hips are stable. Inhale. Exhale. Scoop and hollow. Step up. Inhale. Lengthen the thigh bone. Exhale. Coming back. Brilliant. You feel those abs waking up already. And one more. Great. So your progression here is going to be to lift, lift. So you need some more abs here. And lower your foot, and lower your foot. And then go to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Use your core to lift the leg. Inhale, lower. So you have a breath for each move. And you can see I've kept my letterbox. My upper body is stable. So stability is working through the hips and the upper body here. Your stabilizing muscles are just inside your hip bones. You can feel them working when we go into twist especially. Okay, your third progression later on, keep both your feet off the floor and then go for that toe tap and come back. Breathe in and out, scoop and hollow. Good. You need some more ab connection now because both your feet are off the floor. So if you're feeling a bit wiggy-woggy or you're taking it into your lower back, put your foot back on the floor until you're ready to go there, okay? 2 more taps. 1, 2, brilliant. And take a nice hug in. Little massage. Okay, so a nice flexibility for the hips, lifting the leg up and just making outward circles. So here you can really test your flexibility. If I show you the back leg, as the leg opens, you don't want to lift and rock like this. So you're going to stabilize your hips just inside the hip bone there. You're going to scoop and hollow, and you're going to keep your supporting knee and foot in line with your hip. Have the hips completely stable as you make those circles. I will reverse the circle. Keep your 90-90 leg. Great. If you do have a ball, you can also do this with a ball. And that helps you keep the angle of your leg. Stretch your toes, everyone. Get those ankles and toes working. Great. And we're going to go the other way. And then we're going to take that ball out. We're going to put the ball in between our knees. It's going to keep our knees hip width apart. And also we're going to use it to squeeze it and strengthen up those thigh muscles even more. So with your arms by your side, these are the basic curl. This is the way to do the basic curl up. Breathe in and press. Breathe out, tuck your chin, scoop and hollow, zip up. So you're going to feel your six-pack kick in now. You need it to lift your head and shoulders off the mat. You're going to feel your six-pack first as you come through your float. And then you're going to exhale, scoop and hollow to come up into contraction. You're going to squeeze the ball at the same time as we do that. And then inhale, roll the spine back out. So exhale, chin, six-pack, main abs. You can see if they don't push up. Squeeze that ball and inhale, rolling back out. Okay, we can do a nice stretch with the arms here. So we can take them over our head and bring them up and over like you're pushing resistance through water. And roll back out. Six-pack, main abs up. your aim is to just try and get the bottom of your shoulder blades off the floor. So you're not trying to sit up really high, looking for that core connection and just getting the shoulder blades off the mat. Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to take the ball out and we're going to take a nice stretch. We're going to lift to the right leg to tabletop. We're going to stretch the left leg out. You can do this flat on the floor, or you can crunch up and hold on with your hands on your shin. And you're just going to swap over and pull your nose towards your knee. And it's called the one leg stretch. So we're always lengthening long, lean working muscles in Pilates. And lengthening the leg away from you, stretching your toes, opening those joints up. Great. Okay, I'm going to show you a really good stretch now. We're going to extend the right leg to the ceiling and flex the foot. If you need a bent knee, just bend your knee, guys. You're going to bring your opposite hand on the outside of your thigh. And you're going to bring your leg across your center line, your spine. This is to stretch your IT band down the side of your leg. And it hurts a little bit, so just breathe through it. If it hurts too much, just bring your range of movement back a bit. If you've got a band, you can place the band around your foot and you can calm across, stand nice and tight, and just use the resistance of the band. And coming back to center, let's do that quickly the other side. Breathe it out, feel the muscle lengthening. And coming back to center. We're going to go back to having the ball in between the knees and we're going to go up to bridge. Keep your feet in your Pilates triangle. Your arms are by your side in your armchair. And you're going to go on the side arm on the middle fingers and tuck the chin. Breathe in. Breathe out and break the rules. Okay, so you are going to tuck your pelvis and rotate it. You're going to bring your hip bones towards your ribs and lift your pubic bone, your tailbone up. Then peeling one vertebrae at a time off the floor, your core is connected. Lift the hips until you're balancing on your shoulder blades. So in Pilates, we're looking for that straight line from the shoulders to the knees. So you don't want to lift the ribs up and arch the back and push up. That's when you start to feel it in the lower back. We've got a lovely straight line. Our core is supporting. And you push the arms into the floor. You work in the back of the arm as well. So because we've got the ball, we can target some extra muscles. We're going to zip up and squeeze that ball 3 times. Zip up and squeeze. Inhale, release. Zip up and squeeze. How hard can you squeeze it? Inhale, release. And one more. Zip up and squeeze. Good. Inhale, release. And then rolling down. Exhale. Picture a white line in the road. And you're going to place one vertebrae at a time on the floor. Keep that C curve for as long as you can in your lower back. Keep your C curve, keep your C curve, keep your C curve. And then roll the spine out. Great, so let's try one more of those. Core connection. Scoop and hollow, rotate. Peel off, exhale. Relax the chin. I can move my head here. Okay, press the arms into the floor and then squeeze the ball and zip your core up. Zip up and release. Zip up. Good. Pelvis stays in neutral. Fantastic. And one more. Okay, rolling down, white line. Tilted, C-curve through the lower back. Core controls everything. Soft neck. And there we go. Bring the knees in. Take a nice massage. There you go. Place your feet on the floor. Make a circle around and sit. Okay, join me for my other beginners class where we're going to do some exercises on our side and on our front. I hope you enjoyed your first lesson on Pilates. Stay with me. You're going to feel so great.